Well, isn't this just fantastic? Miss Japan. You know, it was like a week ago when everybody was celebrating. Hey, look, it's a subversion. It subverted our expectations. It's a foreigner who won Miss Japan. Well, no, she's not a foreigner. She's legally a Japanese citizen, but you know, she was from the Ukraine, so she's not Yamato, right? Well, now, of course, now everybody's talking about it. Now that she's not anymore. She gave up. She gave it up. Why? Because news came out that she was a couple days before she, you know, revoked her own title of Miss Japan, was because a couple of days ago, before this whole thing happened, she was caught, or it was reported that she was having an affair with some married guy, right? And so then a couple days later, I guess the humiliation or whatever, the public humiliation caught up to her, and she, you know, decided to just give it up. And, you know, being in the public eye can be rough, right? Understandable, I suppose. And, you know, this is kind of like a scandal, I suppose. But really, let's be totally honest here, okay? And this is gonna blow some people up, but you know, if she wasn't a public figure, if she was just some Joe Schmo having an affair with a married dude, guess what? Nobody would care. Nobody would care. It would be normal. This type of stuff in Japan is normal. Spouses cheat on each other all the freaking time. It's everywhere. It's normal here. This goes back into like Japanese history and culture. Japan is a polygamous society. That's how it's always been. It comes from China. Chinese society was polygamous. That spread to Korea and of course through, you know, to Japan. It's how it works. This whole like monogamy, like romance, love, relationship, marriage, whatever you want to call it, romantic thing is a Western invention, and a modern one at that. And it was just like brought here because it came from a time of like this radical shift in Western culture in the mid-19th century. And in order to be civilized, Japan decided to follow through and copy it, basically. And so this sort of like pseudo thing going on in Japan with like monogamy or whatever, like this is really new to Japanese society, and really it doesn't translate very well. Look, here's the thing. I know people who do this sort of stuff, and like I know married people who know that their spouse has a boyfriend or a girlfriend or many boyfriends or many girlfriends. They totally know, and they don't care. It's whatever, and they do the same thing. And they can, if they want to, and sometimes they do, sometimes they do. Some people in America or Europe would call, oh, well, that's an open relationship. Every relationship must be open then in Japan. See, that's the thing, right? So this sort of thing is just kind of normal. It's just not something you talk about, right? But because it's a public figure, you know, the moral outcry must happen. It's all performative. Most of the people, at least Japanese people, who are like reacting negatively to this, Chet, you betcha, a large percentage of them are doing the same exact thing. And like, you know, they're, oh, well, it's different. I'm hiring a prostitute. Okay, whatever you say, whatever lets you, you know, helps you sleep at night. It's ridiculous. It really is. It doesn't matter. But, you know, it is what it is. Also, I want to say, too, shout out to my boys at Unseen Japan for once again helping to degrade their own credibility with reporting on this. Every news outlet is talking about how she had resigned in the wake of stories about her having this affair coming out, you know. Unseen Japan comes out and says that it's due to harassment from right-wingers abroad and Japanese nationalists. Where was that coming from, bruh? Where did you invent that? And when people call you out and you get proven wrong, rightfully so, you start going on blocking sprees? Aw, come on, man. That's weak sauce. Really? Really? It's too bad. Unseen Japan, that's like one of the biggest tragedies here. I mean, more tragic than the Miss Japan thing, honestly. Because I'm gonna be fair here. They do have some pretty well researched. I mean, you know, for a an online publication, they have some pretty well researched stuff that they do, talking about Japanese history and contemporary culture and stuff like that. And then they have to turn around and poison their own well by going around and making things up. Like, what the bruh, dude? Seriously, can I at least get a source? Can I get some evidence about Japanese nationalists going and attacking this Miss Japan Ukrainian-born lady or right-wingers from? I mean, I have friends in America. They're Asian, and they felt that when they see a white person in Japan becoming Miss Japan, they see that as kind of like, oh, they're whitewashing Japan now. It's being whitewashed. Is that a right winger? Is that a right wing extremist? I honestly, I don't know. It's like really starting to blur the lines between like who might stand where. And this guy one of these guys in particular, he's like what's Bernie Sanders, a Democratic Socialist or something like that? That's a right winger now? Is that what's happening here? I don't know, man. Unseen Japan took a huge L, a bigger L than Miss Japan did. It's a day of L's. The Japanese government's taking an L too. Everybody's getting bodied. It's pretty funny. I'm enjoying the show. I'm not gonna lie, and it gives me something to talk about. But it's just insane, bruh. I mean, anyway, I'm running out of things to say. I'm just kind of padding out the time, I suppose. But man, what is going on? I mean, real talk. Yeah, subscribe, donate, or get the mod out, as some people like to say. Actually, if you want to subscribe, that would be cool. Anyway.